Hey y'all, Melissa here with Yoga TX, and we're gonna do a little sequence for insomnia. Studies have shown that yoga can help to improve sleep among people who suffer from chronic insomnia. So the first pose that we'll start with is downward facing dog with the head supported. So she's gonna put her bolster here in the middle of her mat and come into her downward dog. This is not a real bolster. It's just a couch cushion with a blanket on top of it if you don't have a bolster. So she's gonna start by really bending her knees. She's gonna take her feet back a little bit further from her hands. And see how nice and long her spine is right here. As she straightens her knees, she's gonna keep all of that length. Good. And her forehead is supported by the bolster. This is a more relaxing position for the brain. I'm gonna move this up so that only her forehead is on it, not so much the rest of her face. Good. She can bend one knee at a time, open the backs of the knees. And then she'll come down to her knees, sit back onto her heels in child's pose, pulling the bolster a little bit closer so it's all the way underneath her. Good. Good. She'll do a child's pose here. She can take her head to the right side to start and take some deep breaths. Just starting to get relaxed, letting the body, the nerves all soften. Feeling the back of the rib cage expand as she inhales. She exhales completely all of the air that she has breathed in. And then she'll turn her head to the other side for a moment. Still breathing into the back of the body. And then she'll come up to her hands and her knees and take both of her knees to the left side of the bolster. She's gonna line up her knees and her heels, and she's not gonna sit on the bolster. And then, with her feet lined up, she's gonna turn her shoulders to face the bolster. She's gonna press into the ground and really lift her chest. And then she's gonna lay the midline of her chest down the middle of the bolster, looking to her right. Just doing a nice twist. She'll take as long as you want here, and then she'll come up, switch her knees to the other side, lining up the knees and the ankles, and then lining up the center midline of the chest along the bolster and bringing the chest down. Walking the arms forward and looking to her left. Nice restorative twist. And then, holding as long as you held it on the other side, she'll come up to her hands and her knees again, and she'll come to sit on her behind with her legs straight out in front of her. And this is going to support her head. So she'll put it over her legs. She can take her feet hips width apart, so a little bit wider. And then she's gonna straighten her knees beneath the bolster, lift her chest, and then she's gonna fold forward over the bolster. And she wants to support her head here. So while supporting her head, we want her spine to stay long. So if you have some pillows nearby, go ahead and put them on top and then bring the head down. Good. Forehead is supported. Big breaths into the back of the body. Staying here as long as she wants, and then looking forward and coming up, and then she'll lay down onto her back. And you could do this over the edge of your bed if it's the right height, or you could just use a chair. She's going to put her calves on top of the chair. All right, and then there's just a slight angle here so that her knees and her hips aren't the thighs don't come straight up and down. And then she takes her hips width apart. You might want to put a blanket here if you have a chair like this, because it's kind of cold and not relaxing. And then she'll take a second to dig her elbows in and really lift her chest. And then she'll relax it again. Arms to the sides, palms up. This is just a nice inversion, very restorative. And here she can start her Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is just a slight contraction of the throat to give the breath a sound. It's almost, we call it Darth Vader breath sometimes, or like a scuba diver's breath. So you might be able to hear her. Just draws our awareness to our breath. A lot of times when we're breathing, the breath will get caught or it will snag in the throat. It doesn't come as smooth as we like it to. So this is just a way to build our awareness around the breath. So you can stay here as long as you want. The final pose that we're going to do is Savasana, our corpse pose. So she's just going to take her legs off of the chair and she's going to lay on this bolster. She'll come up. And you want to make sure that this has a fist distance of space right here so that your sacrum isn't too close to it. And then she's going to lay back onto the bolster. We'll give her a little neck roll. Oops, gotcha. Good. And then she'll stretch her legs both out one at a time. Hands up at the sides of the body, and she'll close her eyes. And here she'll continue to do her Ujjayi breathing. And just like you might count sheep to put yourself to sleep, she's going to count her breaths. And if she can get to 100 breaths without falling asleep, I will be very impressed. So this is your final pose to rest in. You can stay here as long as you'd like. I hope that you enjoyed this video. This is Melissa with Yoga TX. Namaste.